Alright guys, this is how you know it was a good day of thrifting, when your trunk looks like this. So we just got to the thrift store. It is so packed in the parking lot that I actually had to park next door in the In-N-Out Burger parking lot. So I don't know if that's a good thing, but we're gonna try this thrift store. I did already go to one other one this morning and got some shoes. I did not film in there though, but I can show you guys that later. And I went to an estate sale this morning and I didn't get anything there. It just wasn't, it was very, very small. They didn't have a lot of stuff out, and I went a couple hours after they opened. Prices were great. I wish I found something there because the prices were only like $1, $2 per item, but I just didn't find anything that I was interested in. So we're at a thrift store now. I'm gonna take you guys inside. Hopefully we can find some good stuff to flip online for a profit. Alright, so starting in the hard goods, I found this adorable Tommy Bahama bottle opener. I thought it was so cute with the little seashell and the crab. Now this was $3.99, but I decided to look up comps because this would be really easy to list and very easy to ship. But it looked like these were only selling for about $10. So at $4 buy cost, I decided to pass on that. And I would have got it for myself just because I love it so much. But I already have a really cool bottle opener that I picked up at a garage sale. So I really didn't need it, so I left it there for somebody else. Next up, we have this adorable little Bo Peep baby food warming plate. I thought this was really cute, so I did a Google image search to look it up. There are two similar ones that have sold recently for around $17 to $25, but this one was priced at $6. It needed cleaning, and there were a ton listed, meaning that it had a very, very slow sell-through rate, so I was probably going to sit on it for a while. So for that reason, I put that back as well. I did, however, grab this next item. This is a Pier 1 ornament. It is hand-painted blown glass, and it's actually hand-painted from the inside, which I learned from looking this up that is a Chinese art form. I'm going to put the word for it on the screen because I don't want to butcher it, but very beautiful. It's front and back painted, and I should be able to get around $20 to $25 for this ornament. So I did pick that up for $3.99, plus it had the cute little box, so it'll be easy to ship in that. Next up, I spotted this Ed Hardy mug. I recognized the kind of tattoo artwork, Ed Hardy print stuff. And I thought about this. I did look this up as well because the whole Y2K stuff is selling really well for me right now. And Ed Hardy in clothing and bags has sold very well for me. So I wanted to look up this mug just to see. But again, very slow sell-through rate. There are a ton listed in the $10 to $15 range. This one was only $2.99, so not a lot of room for profit, and I don't want to sit on this forever, so I did go ahead and pass on this as well. But I thought it was a really cool mug. I found this over in the pillow section, and I was drawn to it because I recently sold a giant chocolate bar pillow. This is very huge as well. You can see the size of it on this outdoor chair. It's an M&M with a little teddy bear coming out of it and a cute little M&M hat. It is new with tags, but it is dated 2009, so not quite vintage. I did do a Google image search on this guy, and I cannot find any listed or sold anywhere of the milk chocolate M&M one. There is some of the peanut M&M one, but not very many of those either. So for $3.99, he was priced at $3.99. I decided to go ahead and grab him just because like I've said, I have had really good luck with giant food themed pillows and items recently. So I think I'm going to list him probably around $25. This next item I also found in the pillow section, and it is so adorable. It has these 3 buttons on the back that say handmade with love. So somebody knit this pillow, and it is the cutest thing I've ever seen. I honestly don't know if I'll be selling this. I may keep this for my own home decor because I love it so much, but if I do decide to sell it, I'll probably list it in the $25 to $30 range. I think this pillow is absolutely worth it. Somebody put a lot of time and effort into making it. I'm surprised that it even ended up at the thrift store, but how cute is this little pumpkin? Hand knit or crochet, I'm not sure what the difference is, so don't come for me. But just the cutest pillow with, again, the 3 little buttons on the back, and this was only priced at $4.99. I saw this little container of silverware, and they had it all taped shut, but I was able to see a couple of the brands on the silverware through the plastic, and I knew instantly I was going to get this for $12.99. This ended up being really good. Probably my best find of the day, you guys, as far as how much this will resell for. I'm going to break down everything I found in here when I get back home, so stay tuned for that later in this video. There's definitely money to be made in silverware. I've had really good luck with it in the past. You just have to make sure you're picking up the right stuff. I don't sell a ton of books, but I knew I had to look this up, you guys, because this book is huge. It also weighs about 20 pounds. It's very heavy, but the nice thing about books is you can ship them with media mail, so the shipping is a lot cheaper than you would think for a 20-pound book. And this was only priced at $5.99, you guys. This book retails for $200. It's a $200 hardback copy. It is the Leonardo book, The Complete Paintings and Drawings, and this book resells for over $100. I'm going to pop some comps up on the screen so you guys can see. It is definitely a very cool, oversized, like coffee table or long entryway table book. This next find was crazy because I just found some Thursday Boot Company like leather sneakers at another thrift store right before this, and I will be showing you guys those probably later on in the haul. And then I came here and found these. They were priced, I think, at $10. They're white leather men's sneakers in amazing condition. I love selling this brand. I'm going to pop some comps up on the screen for you guys, and $10 was a great deal. I love their shoe prices at this store. They do price up a few here and there, but for the most part, very reasonable, which is getting harder and harder to find in my area. I was so excited to find this guy to add to my Disney-themed office collection of plush. This is Lucifer, the cat from Cinderella, the kind of evil one that Jack and Gus, the two little mice, steal snacks from. Our little Pomeranian dog, one of them is named Gus, so I just am kind of partial to the little Cinderella creatures, and I do not have him in my collection. He was only $3.99, so I'm so happy to grab him. He does resell between $20 to $25 though, so you know, there was some value here, so I probably would have picked him up either way. This next brand I had to look up, but I did recognize it because I have sold it once before. It's just been a really long time. I'm going to let you guys read it because I do not want to butcher the pronunciation. But this is a wool striped sweater, and the hoodies by this brand sell very well. This was only priced at $8.99, so I did decide to grab it. But I cannot find a striped sweater by this brand anywhere online. So I have no idea what this sells for. I'm going to price it a little bit high. I'm going to put comps up on the screen so you guys can see how well the hoodies sell. So definitely keep an eye out for those. But I think this one will do well. It's very, very nice quality. It's a size extra large, and I do believe it is wool. Next up, we have this vintage Barbie thermos. Now, I don't know very much about vintage Barbie stuff, but I do know that some of it can sell for a lot of money, so I decided to look this up. Unfortunately, this is not one of those pieces, and this one was pretty rusty and worn. I did see quite a few listed. There were a few that were only listed around $10 as well, so definitely not worth picking up, and those listings were in better condition than this one. But definitely keep an eye out for some vintage Barbie stuff because some of that can be worth good money. I also looked up this doll. I cannot remember who this is. If you know who this is, drop a comment down below. But she was not worth it either, so I did leave her behind. This day just keeps getting better because I found these plates on a new cart coming out, and I snatched them up so quick. They are very nice, heavy stoneware Disney plates. I'm sure these were a pretty penny originally, but I got the entire set of 6 plates for $10. You guys, I'm keeping these. You guys know I love Disney, but I did see somebody had a set of 2 of these listed on eBay for $60. That's not a sold listing. That's just what they have them listed for, but I'm willing to bet these are $20 to $25 plates all day long. I'm just keeping these ones, but so excited. This was honestly probably my favorite find of the whole day, not because of resale value, but just because I love these so much. Now this next find I thought was going to be a really good one, but I ended up having to pass on it. This is a vintage Tweety Bird sweatshirt. It was only priced at $8.99. I'm showing you guys a stain on the sleeve. There was actually stains throughout this thing, but sometimes vintage stuff can still resell with some wear to it, some stains and everything if it's a really good graphic. And this one was dated 1995 on the tag, so it definitely was true vintage. But I did use Google image search on this, and I found one listed for about $15. It had a couple watchers on it and still hadn't sold. So for that reason, and because it had stains on it, I had to go ahead and pass on this one, but still really cool to see. This next brand was new to me, but I knew I had to look these up because of the quality. These felt like amazing quality. They were heavy. The leather was buttery soft. They're actually made in Mexico. The brand is Patina, and these are the Zoe penny loafers. I looked these up on eBay, and I'm going to put some comps up. They resell in the $50 to $65 range. These ones honestly look brand new, though. They look very clean. I don't think they were ever worn, and they were only priced at $10. So absolutely grabbing these. I'm going to try these out, and I'll report back to you guys on how quickly they sell. So next up, I have these Chaco sandals that I wanted to show you. I don't pick up a ton of Chacos anymore, but these were only priced at $3.99. They're a very good color in this like teal blue color. They're also leather, and you guys, I think these are new without tag because they still have that little string hanging off the side, and there's no footprints on the footbed there. There is a little bit of dust on the bottom, but I think that's just like thrift store dust, so I'm going to wipe that off. And these are easily a $30 to $35 sale. So at $3.99, I'm absolutely grabbing these. I'm going to put up a comp of a similar one. I couldn't find this exact style. I'll have to do a little more research, but yeah, $30, $35 all day on these. Next up, we have these Eileen Fisher sandals in the black leather. I do like selling Eileen Fisher shoes. This style is called the Anne sandal, and I looked these up. Comps are a little all over, anywhere from about 35 up to 60 pre-owned. So I'm going to say, like, realistically for these, they're in really, really good condition, as you can tell by the bottom. Probably about $45 for this pair is kind of what I'm going to estimate for these. And they were only priced at $10, so definitely grabbed those. Now, I don't know what I thought I was filming right here. I think somebody came up to talk to me and I got distracted. But if you guys saw really quickly, I threw a pair of Tory Burch flats up on the seat. I did grab those. I will share a little bit more about those later on when we do the haul portion of the video, so you guys will see those a little bit better. And I did pass on these Birkenstocks. They were priced at $9.99. They were in very good condition. I did like the banana, like yellow color, but because these are more of like the plasticky ones, they don't sell as good as like the actual like leather Birkenstocks. So if they were like $5 or less, I probably would have grabbed them, but $10 was a little too much for me, so I put those back. And then I did grab some Lululemon items as well. I don't show them to you guys very good in this clip. Again, I think somebody came up and was talking to me at this point. So I was a little bit distracted when I was going through my cart. But when we do the haul portion of this, I will show you guys a little bit better those Lululemon pieces. This is an all-American leather company crossbody purse. I love the feeling of their purses. It was only $7.99. I'll put some comps up on the screen, but their leather is just so buttery soft. Here's the two Lululemon pieces again. And then last up, I did pick up these Tony Pond's espadrille sandals with spring and summer coming up. I thought these were adorable. Now, this brand is definitely hit or miss, but I did pick these up style-based because I think the platform kind of espadrille heel style will do really well. I think they were also priced around $10. I'll try to find some comps of this exact style to show you guys. These are made in Spain, very nice quality, and as you can see by the bottoms, they've hardly been worn. So definitely grabbing this pair. All right, guys, this is how you know it was a good day of thrifting, when your trunk looks like this. I also did pick up a bunch of shoes from the first thrift shop. I thought I would show you, I'll show you some highlights real quick. So we got some On Clouds, a couple pairs, some Ultras, some Brooks. These are the Ghost 16s, the newest model. Some Asics. We have some Asics here, Jill Cayanos. another pair of Brooks. That's pretty much what's in there. And then everything else we picked up. I do want to mention before I get too much into this part of the video that if you see this giant sheet hanging off of my stairs right here, I just recently washed those and I have it hanging over my stairs to finish drying. So that is why that is there. So no judgment for that. All right, guys, so I wanted to give a little more context to this next thrift store that I went into. I believe it is a church-ran thrift store. They're open only limited hours during the week, and the way they run, they're very curated, very boutique-esque, very nice store. I always love going in there. Some of their prices are a little on the higher end because I do believe they look up most of their stuff. But I do often find things that are still at a reasonable price for resale there, so I will pop in every so often. The one thing about the store is that everything is 50% off all of the time. So it's not just certain days of the week. They always have 50% off whatever price they have on their items, but I do think they price their items accordingly. So whatever they actually want for the item, I think they price it up, double the amount because they know they're giving 50% off. So just keep that in mind when you see the price stickers on these next couple of items. Now, first I wanted to start off with something that I did not pick up, but I thought this was beautiful. I wanted to include this in the video. This is 3 art glass pieces. They do have stickers that say made in Poland on the bottom. And I believe from just looking them up that they are from an artist known as Josefina Krosno. And they're absolutely stunning, cobalt blue and clear glass. Now these were priced at $60 for the set. With the 50% off discount, that would make them $30 for the set. However, I decided to leave them behind for a couple reasons. I do think just that one larger piece would sell around $40, $30 to $40. That's what I was seeing. I'll put some comps up on the screen. And then the 2 smaller pieces, I probably could have sold together for maybe another $30 to $40. So there was potential that I could have possibly doubled my money on this purchase. However, these are very breakable, very beautiful, but breakable items. And for me to pay up that much and risk them potentially breaking during shipping, which I'm not afraid to ship breakable stuff, but when I'm investing $30 into an item, that's a big investment for something that could still potentially break, to just double my money. So if they were worth a lot more, I probably would have picked them up. Definitely a great deal for personal use, but let me know, you guys, down below. Did I make a mistake leaving these behind? Should I have grabbed them? Would you have picked them up? Maybe I'll reconsider if they're still there when I go back. This next find was really exciting because I feel like I haven't found Tory Burch anything in a while. This is the Ella tote in the color Olive Sprig, and I think this colorway does really well. Now, you might see a few little marks on the outside of the bag, but because the bag is made of nylon, those should wipe up really easy with probably just a little bit of water, maybe a little soap if I need to. But the bag otherwise is in really, really good condition. It's very clean on the inside. It definitely is authentic. I looked it over completely. Stitching, everything looks right. This is easily a $100 sale. When you look this up on eBay, and I'll pop the comps up, they're selling for close to $200 brand new. Obviously mine is pre-owned, so at least $100 I'm thinking for that. It was priced at $40 in the thrift store, which means I paid $20 for that. So paid up a little bit, but I'll pay $20 all day for a $100 plus flip. Okay, next up we have this beautiful Sailor Moon bag. This is a collaboration with Samantha Vega, and one thing I've learned from my daughter who loves anime is that Sailor Moon is a very popular character. She has a huge fan base, and there are a lot of people who collect Sailor Moon stuff. So I knew this backpack was probably pretty good. And looking up comps, it's looking like I can sell this for between $60 to $70. I did also pay $20 for this bag, but it was in such good condition that I knew that this was probably going to have a lot of interest and sell really well. So I'm happy to grab that as well. You guys know I love my collaboration pieces. Okay, the next thing I picked up was this vintage Viking glass cat. He actually looks really cool both ways. I don't know if you're supposed to display him this way, or I guess you can use it as kind of like a trinket bowl. This was priced at $12, meaning that I paid $6 for this, and I did not even look this up in the store. Historically, I've done really good with cat-themed things. I think there are just a lot of cat lovers out there, and I just really loved this bowl. Probably not the best thing to do, though, when you're reselling, because I could not find any sold within the last 90 days on eBay. The good thing about that, though, is there's also only like 1 or 2 that I could find listed. Just in my quick search, there might be more, but in my quick little search, I only found a couple listed. So hopefully this will still eventually sell. I think I'm gonna price mine around $30. But if not, I love it so much, I will keep this happily. That was more of like an impulse buy, and then I forgot to look it up, but I do love it. Okay, so this next thing I wanted to show you, I also ended up leaving behind. This is a Hungarian pottery pitcher with the matching cups. Absolutely beautiful. I really, really liked this. The whole set was priced at $30. So at that price, I definitely had to do some research, and I did find a few that had sold, but there were a lot listed, meaning that it had a very slow sell-through rate. And even with the comps and the ones that have sold, there was nothing promising in there that made sense for me to pay $30 for this set, but very beautiful, and I did really like that, so I wanted to show it to you guys. Now, this next item I did pick up. This is a Build-A-Bear. I'm always on the hunt for Build-A-Bear plush, but I do leave a lot of them behind. There are certain ones that are worth a little bit, but there are a lot of them that are oversaturated and not worth picking up, unless maybe you're getting them somewhere very cheap, like at a yard sale or the bins location where you're paying like $1 or less. They still might be worth it. But this one is a frog, and he is from the Halloween Zombie Collection. I ended up paying $5 for him. He was priced at $10, so with the 50% off, I paid $5. And I think he will sell anywhere in the $20 to $30 price range, just based off of comps. And I will take $5 into $20 to $30 all day, especially when it's something super easy like plush, because they're very easy to list, very easy to photograph, and very easy to ship. Okay, so I feel like I need to explain this first clip to you guys a little bit. I'm gonna slow the footage down for you guys, but it was a very quick clip that I filmed. Because I realized I needed to go check out and leave right away. It was getting close to that time that my kids needed to be picked up for school, and so I just quickly filmed this little clip of my cart, but I didn't get a chance to show you guys these shoes in better detail, so I want to go ahead and do that now. All right, so I did go ahead and pay up for some of these shoes, but they're really good ones and definitely worth paying up for. So first off, we have these Hokas. These are the Clifton 9, which is the newest model of the Hoka Cliftons out on the market right now. They are set to release the Clifton 10 model this year in 2025, I believe around April, sometime in there. But currently these are the newest model, and one of the best, fastest selling models that Hoka makes, in my opinion, is the Cliftons. So if you're trying to learn sneakers and you want to get into them, Hoka's a great brand for one, but the model will definitely make a difference in how much they will resell for. So the Hoka Clifton 9s, they retail for about $145. Of course, there might always be some sales going on, but these ones are a little extra special because they are the Gore-Tex version, and Gore-Tex just means that they are made with wind and waterproof materials, which does add a little bit of value, not only to the retail value. So these ones retail a little higher at $160, but also add a little value, I believe, to the resale value. I always use Gore-Tex anytime I have it with outerwear or shoes in my title. It's a great keyword, and a lot of people are looking for that. So I do believe it adds a little bit of value to the resale as well. These ones in particular are in excellent condition. When I'm checking over condition of running shoes especially, there's a couple things I look for. So first off, you want to look for any holes or tears in the fabric, which these have none. I always check the back heel area because that tends to be a popular area for holes to start. Another thing I will look at, but this one is not a deal breaker, but it's the insoles. With running shoes, I have sold many that have no insoles in them, and they still sell really good if they're a really good model. So like I said, not a deal breaker, but this does give you a little indication of how much these have been worn. So with these ones, you can see the writing and the print on the insole is still very visible, which tells me that these have not been ran in or worn very much, because usually that starts to wear off the more the shoes are worn. And then, of course, one of the most important things with running shoes that a lot of buyers will care about and want to see in photos is the tread life. And this will also be a good indication of how much the shoes have been worn. And you guys can see, I'm going to wipe these down a little bit. They're going to look amazing because the tread is still in excellent condition. It's not actually worn down anywhere on the bottom of the shoe. These are a good size. They're an 8.5. And yeah, I'm expecting to sell these between $80 to $100. I did pay, let's see, $20 for these. So they were $40 and then marked down to $20 with the 50% off, which I think is perfectly reasonable for, you know, $80 to $100 sale. Okay, next up we have another pair of Hokas here. These are also a great model. So these ones are the Speed Goat 6, I believe, which I also think is the newest model on the market. I did not look into if there is a newer model that has released yet in 2025, but these are the Speed Goat 6. And the best thing about these is they are also the Gore-Tex edition. So I'm guessing these were probably donated by the same person. They're a size 9, so very similar in size. And again, amazing condition on these. I do think these might retail a little bit higher. I'll have to look it up and I'll pop it on the screen, but I want to say these retail closer to $170. And yeah, so insoles look amazing. Upper looks amazing, no holes, very clean. And you guys, with these being a trail running shoe, you really want to look at the life of the extended tread that sticks up. Because that's what really gives you the traction when you're running on trails and dirt and stuff. And you guys can see these ones look amazing. They also have the Vibram soles, which is nice. That's another good keyword that you can use in your listing. So again, I paid up for these a little bit. These ones were priced at $60, meaning I paid $30, but I still think that's easily a $100 plus shoe right there. Okay, and the last shoe I picked up, I have to show you guys. I have talked about this on my channel, so if you watch my videos, you probably know this brand, but a lot of people don't, and I feel like a lot of resellers don't as well. Maybe they do, but I don't see a lot of other resellers talk about this brand, and it is called Topo, T-O-P-O. Here's the logo you want to be on the lookout for. And I just sold this exact model, I think in a different colorway recently. I can't remember how much it sold for, so I'm going to put some comps on the screen for you guys. But these are the Ultra Venture 3s. They're also a trail running shoe, and they also have the Vibram soles. They're very comparable, I think, to Ultras, Hoka, those type of brands. They retail about the same, and they resell very well. But again, very, very good condition on these. They are a size 8.5, so probably the same person donated all 3 of these shoes. They were priced at $50, meaning I paid $25 for these. Okay, and I wanted to show you guys real quick because I know I mentioned him earlier in the video, but this is our little Gus Gus. So he's the one we named after the little mouse on Cinderella. He's our little potato Pomeranian. He's so fluffy and chubby, and we love him. He's very sweet and calm. But I also have to show you this one. They're brothers, and we adopted them at the same time. So this little guy we named Cusco. He is named after the llama from The Emperor's New Groove, one of my favorite Disney movies. And he's very hyper. They have opposite personalities. He's very hyper. And then he's our little chill guy over there. And then you guys know Rue. Rue! My sweet girl. If you've been watching any of my videos, you probably see her pop up every so often. She's our sweet Aussie, and she was also named, obviously, after a Disney character. She was named after Roo from Winnie the Pooh. All right, guys, so I am getting ready to go out thrifting today. I'm just letting the dogs out before I head out. That will be in a future video, though, so you guys are gonna have to stay tuned for that. But hopefully we find some good stuff today. Okay, real quickly, you guys, I forgot to show you the 4 pairs of shoes I picked up at Goodwill earlier in the day. I did kind of mention it in the video that I picked up another pair of these Thursday sneakers in the brown leather, great condition, some Olukai slide sandals. I'm just going to pop the comps up on the screen for you guys so you guys can see them as we go through, because I don't remember them off the top of my head. But I did grab these Vans Nightmare Before Christmas slip-on shoes. I have sold these multiple times before, so the comps you see popping up on the screen are actually from my own personal Posh closet. These do very, very well. This collaboration is highly sought after, and because this is I can't remember when this came out, but it's definitely you know, few years or more old. They no longer sell these or make these, and so people have to turn to the secondhand market to get them. These ones are in great condition, so they should do very well. And then these mega platform denim looking Crocs, these actually look brand new. I don't think these were ever worn. I paid around, I think it was $69 or something for the 4 pairs, but just one of these pairs between these two right here actually should get me my money back, and then the rest will be pure profit, so not bad on those. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and go over what was in that silverware or flatware little bin here that we picked up for, what was it? I think it was $12.99. This ended up being an amazing deal. And yes, my Christmas tree is all folded up and still in the corner of this room here. I promise we have all of our Christmas stuff put away, but this usually goes in the garage. We just haven't taken it out there yet because we're building racks the top of our garage so we can hang bins up there. And so we're just leaving this here until we can get it out there. Okay, so let's get started. So in here, I have some silverware that are not worth doing anything with. Those ones are just going to be redonate silverware. So I have separated those out. But here's everything that I'm either going to keep or possibly try to resell. The main breadwinner though, and the reason I picked up this entire bin was because I saw flatware in here from this brand, and I am so happy that this entire set ended up being in here, because it could have just been a few pieces, but it ended up being majority this brand. And this is, if you don't know it and you want to learn flatware, this is the brand. Let me see where it shows it on here. Okay, I don't know if it's gonna pick it up on camera, but it is Robert Welch. And this silverware is very luxurious, very heavy, very nice quality. It is sold at Williams Sonoma. If you guys don't know, that's a very expensive like home decor style store. This is a 45-piece set. So it is great. The last set that sold, when I was looking up comps, I found a 51-piece set that sold for $154, and I found a 32-piece set that sold for $132. So we're just going to go kind of estimating right in the middle of that since we have 45 pieces, and I'm going to say this is probably going to be about a $140 sale for this entire set. I have a bunch of knives, some of the larger and smaller forks, larger and smaller spoons. I have 2 big serving spoons, a big fork. This spoon's kind of interesting. I'm not sure what the purpose is, but it has these little like scallops kind of on the edge. I don't know if you guys can see that. And then like a butter spreader. So yeah, we're going to estimate $140 for that, which we could just stop there. $12.99 into a $140 sale is great. But there are a few other things that I think might be worth reselling or keeping in here. So I did have a bunch of these napkin rings. They all are new in their package, but I think they're older, so they do have some patina on them. And then they all have this sticker on the inside. I think it says Made in India, and it is branded. So the brand on the sticker says Park B. Smith. So I looked this up on eBay, and there was a set of 12 new that sold for about $20. So that's probably right around where I will list all of those. I have this like spatula thing. This is nothing. I'm just going to keep this because it's nice and we always use those. But I do have these vintage These are vintage like salad tongs. Now they do have quite a bit of patina on them, but if you look, my camera is probably not going to focus, guys. Let me see if I can set this down. Okay, it's going to be hard to show you the markings on all of these, but if you look on here, it says EP Zinc, Italy. And so I looked these up. They're kind of like scissor looking salad tongs, I guess is what you would call these. And I found this exact one that sold for $17 recently on eBay. So we're just going to estimate around 15 to 17 for that. Now this is a very old antique looking rustic like soup ladle, I guess is what you might call this. I couldn't find any markings on it, so I Google image searched this. It's very large, you can't tell. And there is one listed that looks just like this for $35. I didn't go any further than that. I didn't find any that had sold yet, but I'm guessing closer to maybe $20 on it. There was one watcher on that listing. This is probably not something I would use. I guess you could clean it up. More so as decor. I mean, it makes it great if you have like farmhouse or just kind of love the rustic vibe. This would be a great decor piece. So we'll just estimate maybe closer to $20 on that. Now I did get 2 of these little soup ladles. These are by the brand Spoonful of Comfort. These sell for about $10 each. So I would say about 15 to 20 for the set. Very nice. This is something I will just keep. Not worth much. I looked these up. It does have a brand on it. It is Towle, Towle. But you can get one of these on Amazon for like 14 bucks. So I'm just going to keep that one. Little cake server. These I saw in there and I was curious what they were because I love the handle. It reminds me of Christmas. Kind of looks like Christmas candies or something. But they do have a brand marking on the back. Somewhere, let's see, where is it? Right at the bottom, right here. Oh, maybe you can see it now. There's like a little chef hat and some numbers. These are Pampered Chef, like serving utensils, and those sell for about, I think it was $25 was the comp I saw on those for the set. And then I did get some more serving spoons. So there's 2 very large serving spoons here. These are like hanging ones. You can hang them up. They have the little hook and then the matching like soup ladle. And these are all Oneida. I don't know if it's going to show, but they're all marked Oneida. These sell for about $10 each. So I'm going to say $30 for the set of 3. And then I have a bunch of randoms that I may or may not list. I need to look into them a little bit more. We have like some Rogers Silverware in here, some more Oneida. Most of them are singles though. I have a couple doubles here. These ones are Rogers, this set of 2 forks. And then this one is a good brand, but there's unfortunately just a single spoon. So I need to see if that's worth listing. The brand is Stanley Roberts. And then I do have this set of forks. I'll definitely get these listed because they're all matching. These ones are Oneida on that. So maybe a few extra dollars kind of mixed in here with these kind of mismatched little sets. But we just won't count those in the total price. I'm just not sure what those will sell for. Probably just an extra maybe $10 to $20 worth of silverware right there. Maybe a little bit more. I might be estimating a little low. I didn't do too much research into those, but single pieces are a little bit harder to sell. But with the total, everything that we just added up with what I told you guys I was going to sell and roughly the average comps for everything, that added up to $272, you guys, for everything that was in here, minus these little random things that could add on a little bit to our total, could possibly get us a little bit closer to $300 worth of silverware, all in that one $12.99 bin. So don't be afraid of silverware. It can be very profitable if you're picking up the right ones. I love when thrift stores have these mixed bundles like this. I don't always buy them. I try to look around in the little bins. I love that they put them in clear bins though, so I can kind of try to see what brands are in there and see if it's worth picking up. Okay, I also mentioned earlier I was going to come back and show you guys these Tory Burch flats and talk about them a little bit. So I did pay $10 for these. They're in amazing condition. They're also a metallic silver, which I think will do really well. I sold a pair of metallic silver teaks that sold very, very quickly. So I think this colorway will do great. The only issue I had with these is that they're a size 4.5 women's, or I guess you can also consider that 4.5 big girls. But you can see by the bottom, you guys, these are in amazing condition. So I wanted to look these up before I decided to put them back because of the size. A lot of times I will pass on a 4.5. And sure enough, there are quite a few that sold in the $45 to $68 range in this size. In fact, there are more sold than there are listed in this size, which means that the sell-through rate is also very good. So I decided to grab these for only $10, and like I said, they should be a $45 to $68 sale, somewhere in there. So sometimes you have to look up things to know for sure, because most of the time I'm passing on size 4.5, but those ones, because of the condition, I'm super happy I looked up. So here's the 2 Lululemon pieces I wanted to show you. These are the Lululemon on the fly pants. I'm going to pop some comps up on the screen. I think I can get about $40 for these. I did pay $14.99, so I paid a little bit up for these. But this is a really nice style. The only bummer is when I got home, and I didn't notice in the store, or I might have passed on them. When I got home, I felt something in one of the pockets, and this is there. So I don't know what I'm going to do about this. Let me know if you guys have any tips for me on how I can get this off, because I'm pretty sure this didn't come from the thrift store. Obviously, the thrift store doesn't put these on their items, so that's a bummer. I definitely would have probably left those behind if I would have noticed that in the store. And this particular store does not accept returns, so I need to figure out how to get that off so that I can go ahead and list these. They're a size 4 for anyone wondering. And then these are the Lululemon Power Through High Rise, also a newer style. They are a biker short, which I love. I love wearing biker shorts. And the reason I picked these up, I think I paid up a little bit for these as well. But the reason I decided to pick them up at $12.99 was because they're a women's size 16. And I tend to do really well with newer styles in Lululemon in larger sizes. I just think they're harder to find, even on secondhand marketplaces. And these should sell in the $35 to $40 price range for those. Okay, and I also forgot to show you guys these, or this little guy here. He came from the church-ran thrift store with all of these items. And I just grabbed him quickly. I think I paid $3 for him. He was marked at $6. Very derpy looking bulldog, I believe. But I grabbed him because he's vintage. He is from 1985. He's marked on the back here. United American Novelty, 1985. And I just think he's derpy enough and cute enough. I Google imaged him. Nothing came up. He was only $3. But sometimes I just buy weird things and see how they do. And I've actually learned to kind of go with my gut on a few things, because I have had some really good sales just buying weird things that I can't find listed anywhere. So I'm going to list him probably around 25 or 30, because I think if I use the right keywords like derpy, bug eyes, vintage, 1980s, all of those things, bulldog, somebody will come along and want him. All right, guys, so that is it. Here's the rest of the shoes. There was 11 pairs from that stop. You guys saw the blue bag I had full of shoes. That is my thrift store that I find my best shoes at. And I do pick up clothing there sometimes, but I didn't look through the clothing this time. I just grabbed shoes. But we got 11 pairs of shoes, all of this stuff from the church ran thrift store. This is the Southern California local thrift store back here, one of my best finds with all the silverware and everything. And then the Goodwill with these 4 shoes. So this was all thrifted during the day. It was about 5 to 6 hours worth of thrifting. Let's see, 4 different stores, 5 to 6 hours worth of thrifting all in one day. And The estimated resale value of this entire haul came out to be roughly $2,402. And that is being a little bit conservative with my pricing, because some of these I am going to price a little bit higher than what I said, just because I do send out and accept offers. So some of these may sell for a little bit higher, and then also some of them may sell for a little bit lower. So that's definitely a conservative price, the $2,402. And I spent about $650. There was some change in there, but it was $650 total at all 4 stores for all of this stuff. That is very close, just shy of 4xing our money. Of course, that doesn't account for platform fees, but if we consider, 13% up to about 20% fees, we're still tripling our money after all of these items sell. So that's a great day to me. I'm really excited about that. Today was a very, very good thrift day. They're not all like this, but definitely worth sharing. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I don't have all of this stuff listed yet. I'm going to get this video posted in the morning for you guys, so most of the stuff is actually not going to be listed. I do have some things, though. I started working on it. If there's anything in particular that you're interested in, leave me a comment down below, and I will try to get that particular item listed sooner rather than later. My stores are linked down below: Poshmark, Mercari, and eBay. I sell on all 3 platforms. So just let me know if there's anything you want me to work on sooner rather than later for you. I would really love it if you guys would like this video. This is a longer one from me. So let me know if you like these longer haul videos or if you prefer shorter ones. And subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in my next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.